Hey, Kevin. I thought I'd do this video to step through these 3D renderings just to kind of point out some areas where things that I did, uh, things that I added, uh, places where I thought would be good to create a nice little ambiance, some sort of utilitarian points. And I'll point that out. Obviously, right off the bat, you see there's no pergolas in here. Left those out for ease of viewing distances, just to give a good profile of the space. We can show that later, and we know the pergolas are going to be put on here. Some form or fashion, there's going to be cover overhead. But I want to be able to show the layout without having the pergolas in the way. And right away, we can see we're stepping out of that or through that passway. We estimate it's probably about 6 foot wide. You're coming into the entertainment space, and right away you can see our seating, our lounging area. Um, right away you're hit with a rain curtain, and how cool is that? This is some high level stuff, I believe, and I really think really adds a nice. You can just picture your different seating areas and the energy of people just socializing and stuff. You get a little bit of a view over here of this next social space. Now you notice I got flagstone in here, flagstone in here, a different colored flagstone that's round, and I'll point out why I did this. We've got basalt stone here. I've got decomposed granite for the most part. That's the brownish color here, and I've got what do we call it? Cobblestone. Cobblestone, and I'll show you where that is. So let's talk about this really quickly. The vines that are here, beautiful vines that we can get that grow in the Dallas-Fort Worth area easily enough. And they're hardy and they can really fill in. I have more here. I don't have really the good ones in the library that will show the ones I want, but I kind of beefed it up just to show that, hey, this is what we're doing. We're screening the restrooms that are behind us. And now I left this such that you can see what these are. Great seating spaces. Here's a lower view, and we've got a Roman columns here. You see all the way down through to where that stage is, but at the same time, look at over here where you can see the movie being shown if you were there to see it, sitting from here. And as we step a little bit further, as you can see the nice vines here. So I put 3 Roman columns in each section. You can see them over on this section and here. So we've got really 3 sections, and this is really what I call the lounge area, although it does kind of bleed over into our next section, which I'll show. Yeah, this is really cool. As you can see, so where the vegetation is, I've got cobblestone in there. Again, it really gives some difference in contrasts with textures and colors, of course. But I'm using the basalt area for the just to highlight the space where the lounge areas are located. It really did, just to say that this is a space. And this is a back view to our entrance point. We're coming into the area. And this over here is where, obviously, to the restrooms. And look at this here, how I've got this built up all the way around. It's continuity here. And this wraps around, giving everyone more of a like a little secluded area, their own little space. Even though they're out in the open with this pathway, they still have their own areas, and it's nice little groups, that no one's going to be caring about the conversation over here because they got their own thing going on over there. And this is the way it is at any other place. We go into bars or entertainment, everyone's pretty well close by, but it's broken up with vegetation and giving some nice secluded areas in their own social space. And that's what we wanted to be able to do. It creates a higher level of ambiance. Okay, as we step into our next section, this is where I call right in the middle of the rain curtains. So this is our furthest point out lounge area. But look at the access where everyone has to these rain curtains. I've got two desert willows, and that's to give us some vegetation, vertical vegetation, and color, obviously. And this is a view coming straight into this area. So we kind of have a mix. And what I did is I staggered these tables like this just to give us some space between our rain curtain and the tables and the social space and the tables. And I want to be able to allow people to pass through without having to go all the way around. So we have to really take into consideration space between tables, space between different objects or whatever it is, because we want people to be able to pass through without having to figure out how do I get from point A to point B. So these circles that I mentioned earlier, these color changes, different flagstone colors, are really transition points. So if I were to go back, well, actually, here, yeah. Where is it? So here's a wider space. And people can turn around and go this way. Instead of having one huge big color, it breaks it up, and it gives that kind of, we have a lot of different roundness. So I want to keep that theme going through here. And it breaks up this wider point because you can go here to the other tables, around back, and over to the bathrooms. So this, it lightens it up. It takes away from that heaviness of having a lot of flagstone at one point. So it just gives a little bit of it just simply breaks it up. So all these lighter flagstones are for transition points. When you see that, that's a transition point. Obviously, the basalt is here. That highlights all the social spaces. Here's a transition point. So you can continue going down, or you come in through here. You can now see the other three Roman pillars. Desert willow. And look how we've got yeah, I can't even talk right now. So the planters. So we got three of these type, three of those, and three here. Oh, sorry, tired. I have vegetation around this social space here just to kind of break it up. And not only breaking up, but what's happening here. So this gives a little bit. I think I have a overview that will show that. This, as you come around, it softens this point. It gives them a little bit of a, hey, you know, it completes this as a single unit of a space. And so as you pass through, you've got another one. You can diverge. You can either come into here, go this way. It kind of directs you out and around the social space. And that's what the point is, to give some continuity through that. So I'll pass through these rather on the quicker side. A little bit of vegetation over here just to break this up and give these guys a little bit of their own kind of semi-seclusion. As you can look, yeah, so this is what I've done here. It kind of completes that vegetation for these people, as well as softens it as people come around, go into the restroom and use that path. So I've got, now obviously you can see right in here, but also over here. So it gives a little bit of vegetation and green around this space and separating them from the other areas. I really wanted to soften up this wall by putting some vegetation around it. And a look back from the lounge area. Good view looking towards in the stage direction. Obviously you can't see the stage, but like you said, it's more from background noise and ambiance. But a nice view from this point. Okay, so we're in the second area, what I call the first table section. A look back towards the entranceway. And a center view towards the brick wall. And this is, you kind of framed in with these rain curtains. And how cool is that? You've got some good vegetation, good heights here with some of these classy planters. So repetition, we have these grasses here. We come up with some different stuff, but the idea is to have continuity, a continuation of that look. We don't want to break it up. We want to have that same look through this for this area. Okay, and a look towards the stage, which is over here, obviously, and these are the other three Roman pillars along that wall, and that would be the third section that faces directly to the movie. Here's a look back from the third section going towards the entranceway. This is the door, believe it or not, this is the door entrance from the kitchen walkway. And this is that transition piece that I was telling you about. So it just kind of, instead of having something just kind of ending, this circle just kind of gives that, it softens that end point. So you can go multiple directions without having to say, oh, the path stops here. So this does create a transition. Also what I did is create another circle, but using the same flagstone color as what our paths are. And the reason I did that is to break up, I've got 9 tables in here, and it just looks like a cafeteria, and we don't want that. So I wanted to add something in here that would break that look up. So it really looks like almost you've got just these tables out and around, like you don't even have this. And look at the rain curtain from here. A great view, sectioning this space. These planters, like I say, it's continuity. It's continuation of this look through here. Continuity again over here with these type planters and plants. So you see our garden troughs, our garden containers, separate this section. It's really the third and fourth section. I forgot that this is a section too. Excuse me. Our stage. So this area here is really almost, this whole section here is flanked by the desert trees or the desert willows. Got the stage here. These troughs act as a nice divider, a transition point here with this lighter colored flagstone. Able to walk down to the stage, and it sections this point here off. So I've got 4 or 5 tables here that are staggered, and that allows them to be in a more narrower space. Okay, here's a good, and I'll get back to that. Here's a view right under the movie playing. Transition. I gave some vegetation over here, and the whole point is to add more greenery because it's kind of a little bit of a blank, but I wanted to be able to add something horizontally as well as the vertical rain curtain. And it adds to, you hear that rain, or not rain, but that water going. You want to see some green around it too. Again, it adds to it adds more ambiance and softness to that, to the wall that I have and the cobblestone that's in there. I put some boulders in this, also some lighter vegetation, and these are, oh, it's an agave. It's gee whiz, it's a vegetable agave. I can't think of it right now. Sorry, my brain's gone to mush. I'll get to it in a minute. Nice view coming from the far tables, which is actually, let me see, 1, 2, 3. This would be the 4th section. And again, look at your rain curtains here. And as you can see, I love these. These are absolutely something. I know they don't bloom all the time, but when they do, there's something. And their structures are nice. You know, even when they're not blooming, they got a nice structure. Straight on to the movie. I think it kind of says it frames this this section here in. Again, looking towards the stage. Oh, what's that damn vegetable? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I can't think of it right now. Oh, can't think of it. Just cannot. And I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So let me know what you think. And hopefully, I've described what I've done and why I've done it. And it gives a better understanding of my overall view and functionality for this space. Utilitarian, that means that we want to make sure that we have functionality, but we want to marry that with um, ambiance and a high level of that. Thank you. Let me know.